What's going on, everybody? We are covering the legendary characters in Marvel Strike Force, but I have a special guest with me today. Everybody say hello to Mobilegamer. How's it going, man?
DJ Mobile Boomer in the house. Dab.
So, yeah, for today's video, we're talking about the legendary events, your farming guide for them. Now, I'm a relatively new player. Mobilegamer's been playing since back in the beta, so we're getting two kind of different viewpoints over these characters. So, he's kind of forgotten the farming, like some of the farming guides for them, and I don't have a legendary, so he's more knowledgeable in terms of how good the legendaries are. So we're getting some nice mixture of the experience here.
Right.
And
well, one of the questions I get asked is like, okay, I've got Star-Lord and I got Sinister Six. What do I go for next? And I'm like, go Phoenix. And they're like, well, I can't get this and this and this because it's a hard node. I can't get Hela because she's like, I don't know where it is, like in the, like if you're like 4 or 5 months or a year into the game where you have access to Hela or not, right? It's kind of tricky because it was a long time ago. Like we were talking about Iron Man. Iron Man was released differently when the game came out than the way it is now. Maybe that's a good place to start, right? Iron Man? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Iron Man, it feels like he was like the first legendary character in the game.
Yep.
And in order to unlock him, you have to have shield characters. And now he's a 3-star unlock. And I distinctly remember him back in the beta being a 5-star unlock.
Yep.
But yeah, now to get him, you only need him at tier 3, and you only need 3 shield agents at 3 stars. And he's a very easy unlock, but in terms of usefulness, he's not exactly a good legendary.
Yeah, if we're going to say that there's 9 legendaries plus Ultron, so 10 legendaries, let's just say that he's probably the least important of the legendaries. I mean, I think he's pretty easy to get. The good news about that is shield characters is that you can do the shield minions, which are going to be very useful in a Nick Fury team.
Yeah. Yeah, so the consensus seems to be the first legendary that you go for is Star-Lord. And there's no really disagreeing with that. And in order to unlock Star-Lord, you need either Guardians of the Galaxy or Ravagers. And the easy ones to get are Mantis, Drax, Groot, and Gamora. I mean, 2 of those are Blitzstore characters, Mantis and Gamora. Drax is through Arena, and Groot's through some Nexus shard, or through a Nexus node. Then Rocket Raccoon kind of seems to be the sticky point for a lot of players, because you only get him through Raid Store.
Right.
And yeah, you were mentioning, and people have said that if they don't have Rocket, they'll go for Yondu.
I mean, if you're in a rush, go for it, I guess. But you definitely Yondu. The thing is you're going to get hung up with Rocket, right? So and you do not right now currently want to farm the other 3 Ravagers. They're not good. Boomer, Stitcher, not good at all. Probably the worst characters in the game. Yondu is not that great anymore, and if you're, I would suggest rushing to get Star-Lord as soon as possible. Like, so whatever you need to do between Rocket and Yondu, do it. And the reason why, too, is that you're at level 69. You're going to be going to level 70 soon. Level 70, level 70, you can actually go into Dark Dimension 2. And most of the Guardian team with Star-Lord is going to be, along with Minerva and maybe Scientist Supreme, is going to allow you to go into Dark Dimension 2 and then eventually get Ultron. So the path with Guardians is very logical because that is the team also that takes you well. Now you ran that in the arena for a long time, Guardians, right? And that did you well, right?
I ran the BKT for a while.
Okay.
Best Kree team, and yeah, I mean it was like since I was using them for Ultimate 6, I just figured I might as well go ahead and throw them in arena, and that did not last long because everyone started getting as Guardians, and Guardians would just rip that team apart.
Well, and the BKT, which is going to be Star-Lord, Rocket, Groot, Thanos, Minerva. Thanos is going to be going to Black Order. He's going to be good, so there's like no wasted resources on that. Minerva has been useful even in Dark Dimension 3, sometimes in U7, not as much, but definitely useful in a Dark Dimension 2. There's like no wasted resources in putting them in those 5 characters, and in U6, Ultimate 6, fantastic. I'm sure that's an autoplay team that traditionally has been just a team that you put on autoplay, walk away from it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I love me Star-Lord and the Guardians. So, moving on from them, the next one seems to be Sinister Six because you unlock 2 legendaries through them, Invisible Woman and Shuri. Now, I don't have either one of these yet. I'm barely missed out on Invisible Woman last time, and I'm hoping to get Shuri this time. But tell us a little bit about Invisible Woman and how good she is.
Okay, both of those characters I use every single day. I think Invisible Woman is probably more important than Shuri, because Invisible Woman can be used inside of Arena. She's the core member of the Fantastic Four, along with Namor, excellent offensive war team. But she's just an amazing protector tank. I mean, she gives out barriers. She clears away stealth. She gives stealth, kind of like R2-D2 hand sentry. She puts barrier up around the whole team. She counterattacks. Fantastic. And then Shuri is a key component to raids. Standalone member. Right there, because in raids she gives up deflect, and so along with deflect and defense up, it's just an incredible defensive. And plus, she's probably the best healer in the game. Along with Minerva, so she's just a key member to going into U7 along with Scientist Supreme. So both of those legendaries are important, and we're talking about legendaries this game, and all of them are important in some way or another, aside from Iron Man. I mean, really, that's like the only one that doesn't have like a huge meaning to like the overall gameplay. But Shuri and Invisible Woman are amazing by themselves and their respective teams as well.
So after them, this is where things kind of get a little murky, at least for me. I have Nick Fury as the next legendary farm after the Sinister Six farms. Would you agree with that assessment? Would you think of someone different?
Okay, so there's a couple problems with Nick Fury, and one of the main problems I have with Nick Fury is that to farm him and to get him requires 5-star useless minions. My God.
Now,
right?
They've gotten a buff, haven't they? Because I don't remember them being as bad.
Okay, so they were absolutely trash. We worked them, and they were playable then. And they're almost unplayable now. Like, they have not aged well.
No.
So, like, when they were worked, I don't know, 18 months ago, more than a year ago, the Kree minions were, like, playable. Now they've just kind of, like, fallen off, and that's just the way things work. There's power creep. And so, and then Nick Fury team also is kind of, it used to be a kind of a catch-all raid team, catch-all arena team, catch-all defensive war team. It's really become a mediocre team. The Coulson team on defense, requires a specific counter with either X-Men or Brotherhood 2.0. But it's beatable. It's not indestructible. I mean, definitely teams like Asgardians are more important now today. So, I mean, I wouldn't say skip Nick Fury, but I don't know if I would rush to get Nick Fury when there's other things that are more important, like Ultron. You know what I mean? Like, you're in a position right now where you're almost ready to get Ultron. It looks like you're in a good place to get Ultron. But that's kind of the whole point of going Star-Lord and going Guardians.
So if you wouldn't go for Nick Fury next, who would you go for? Magneto?
Oh, well, you jumped the gun and went for Black Bolt, which is amazing. You bypassed
because you guys never shut up about Black Bolt, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll get Black Bolt.
Well, First of all, you did it, so proof's in the pudding right there, and I recommended, but you had to wail to do this. Explain to me how much you had to wail to get Black Bolt, because I can see it on your screen. Like, first of all, Black Bolt probably is the best character in the game, only because Phoenix. She might be more useful in Dark Dimension 3, but Black Bolt's more useful in U7. But there's no pending incoming counter to Black Bolt currently. Because Phoenix is technically Ebony Maw is around the corner as the next legendary. And then also you get kind of a 2-for-1 thing. Black Bolt's needed to get Ebony Maw. And then you also getting Black Bolt is Asgardians, and Asgardians double down is some of the characters you need to get Phoenix. So go for it. Tell us all about Asgardians, Black Bolt, and go. I mean, it's a good thing.
Yeah. So I mean, Black Bolt's like the best legendary out of these right now. I love him.
Yes. Everybody that has him just will tell you all day about it. Won't shut up about Black Bolt. It's kind of a thing.
Yeah, Black Bolt. In order to get him, you have to use your Asgardians. And these guys are
rip wallets.
Yeah, rip wallets.
Rip wallet. Yeah.
Sif I didn't really have to wail on because I had hoarded war currency for anyways. So I say I was able to use my hoard up currency and get her. Thor and Heimdall were pretty easy as well. Loki and Hela are like the gates, especially for newer players, because you can't get them till you hit level 70. I mean, thankfully, Totomax clearing of Dark Dimension 3 gave everybody like 100 Hela shards, which really helps that grind out. And then Loki is just... gotta pull him up. I think he's, Mystic 3-6. So you can get him before level 70, but my Mystic roster is not exactly the best. So you can farm him, but Hela's kind of the gate for them.
Well, and then back up then. But then if you're wanting to get Phoenix, which is a 6-star unlock, you know, then you're gonna need Loki and Phoenix along with Ronin, Mordo, and then you get to choose between Nobu or Hand Assassin. Both are garbage. You know, and you can definitely you kind of, and then this right here, that team there will get you Black Bolt, and then Black Bolt's gonna get you Ebony Maw. It kind of chains from there. Yeah. But this is really not an option until you're at least level 70, or just wail at it. You know, you kind of like jumped it and did it right there, which is actually smart, because then you can over time get the rest of these legendaries at your, because they're all great.
Yeah, that was my train of thought, was like, all right, so if Ebony Maw's coming, and by all indications of everybody talking, it seems to be like Thanos and Black Order give like the new meta, I can get a head start on that by going for Black Bolt and ignoring some of these other ones. I mean, I have Magneto and I have Nick Fury, but Phoenix will be later on. But the nice thing is,
you can answer this question. There's a big difference between Black Bolt, Nick Fury, and Magneto. It's just that there is.
It's a night and day difference.
Yeah.
So I mean, Black Bolt, it's kind of crazy. Like, I look at his stats. He's got like 150,000 health on him. And like, he's almost as tanky as Thanos at this point, and he just deals out huge amounts of damage, and it's just nuts.
He's basically he's a counter to Ultron, also. You know, which was the best character in the game for a long time. So, I mean, and the same thing can be said about Nick Fury and Magneto. They had a place and a time, and Magneto is still very important. I mean, putting out tons of blinds. I don't know, like he's an amazing character. He's important, and the team is good. You know, definitely in war. I mean, just putting blinds on the thing. It's just that there's counters to him. I mean, Rhino was a counter. Phoenix was a counter. A lot of characters were introduced to kind of counter these legendary characters soft, but they still work well. I mean, you use, and what Magneto is what, X-Men and Brotherhood to unlock?
Yeah, you use X-Men and Brotherhood, and that's the nice thing, is that most of the factions you have to use like an opposing faction to unlock them. Yeah. But with Star-Lord and Magneto, you have the option to use like their aligning factions to unlock them. And yeah, I love my Brotherhood, and I always save them on war for any time I see a Nick Fury shield squad.
Yep.
And like, I can feel pretty comfortable with defeating a shield squad that's about 50k power above me.
Yep.
I mean, I love it. It's great.
Yep.
Especially with Toad and Blob. I never went for Mystique and Sabretooth. The Toad and Blob blitzes popped up, and I was like, all right, cool, I can go for those. And
Mystique and Sabretooth have been kind of repositioned.
Yeah, over for Marauder.
The Marauders, yeah,
which is a squad I don't have yet.
You actually don't need him. I mean, if you have Brotherhood 2.0 and Nick Fury, I mean, there's just other teams that are more important, really.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, if you use X-Men for Magneto, you automatically have him built up for Phoenix as well. And that's one of the things I've kind of found out, is like, I have this nice little X-Men squad, but without Phoenix, they're bad. They're really bad.
No, and Phoenix has been the queen of everything. You know, she shared the top spot with Ultron, for a long time, and I think Black Bolt is kind of taken over the top, but Phoenix is a 6-star unlock. She is the key to Dark Dimension 3, at least the first 8 nodes in Dark Dimension 3. She does everything. She is a real hassle to unlock. Villain Mystic Controllers is complete nonsense. The only good news,
and it's a 6-star.
Nonsense, right?
It's 6-star. I remember when I saw that news, and I had stopped playing at Marvel Strike Force by that point. But I saw the 6-star unlock news. I was like, wow, they just gave their entire player base.
No random characters, not
they
even,
literally just gave the entire player base the middle finger and told them to deal with it.
Yeah. And so Villain Mystic Controllers, the good news now is Hela his Villain Mystic controller, which is, but really only available, in-game farming. It's unless you just want to buy her, it's not really very accessible, of course. And those packs are horrific. They're $30 for 50. You can only buy 2 of them. They come up randomly. You just never know when they're going to pop up, and that's expensive if you ask me.
Yeah. And then finally, let's talk about Ultron a little bit.
Okay.
Oh man, I cannot wait to unlock Ultron. I mean, I know he's fallen off, but man, I just want to use him.
Even though he's fallen off, there's probably going to be a second time for Ultron when they introduce red stars for him, especially
DD4
if they rework. Yeah, who knows? But I mean, one of the rewards to Dark Dimension 3 was red stars for Ultimates, which is okay. But having red stars on Ultron now. Ultron, once the bots are up and running, he's pretty much unstoppable.
Unless you have Black Bolt.
He really is unstoppable. Yeah, unless you have Black Bolt. Yeah, Black Bolt, but yeah, or Black Bolt. He's unstoppable with Black Bolt. Without Black Bolt. But yeah, he just goes and goes and goes. It's actually an amazingly balanced thing because it's not something you can do on autoplay inside of the raids. It's long cooldowns. And unless you time his ultimate ability when he has a ton of positive effects on him, you're going to get stuck with everything on really long cooldowns. And it's kind of a thing where you have to micromanage, but he's still useful. It's just that with the Red Star rework and the flattening of the Red Star power curve, all the characters pretty much got about a 10% boost, and he did not because he's not Red Starable.
Yeah,
he doesn't have Red Stars. So. Ultron is still a top 10 character. It's just he was the best for about a year, and now he's probably 4th or 5th best character in the game. Still useful. And when you unlock him, you're going to be like, wow, this guy's fun. I mean, it's like playing Mobile Strike Force 2.0. I mean, I had so much fun for about every day for like a month. I was like best day ever playing him. It was a lot of fun. So, you're going to run probably Minerva, Star-Lord, Scientist Supreme, Groot, and somebody else. You know what I mean? It's just like you basically Dark Dimension 2, Minerva. You probably can also run your Asgardian team. Probably Hela and Thor would be useful in there too, because they kind of like self-sustain. But it's traditionally it's been all about Minerva and Star-Lord, and then 3 other protectors that just basically feed energy, like Jessica Jones, feed energy and clear negative effects, make me like Groot. And just protecting Minerva because she's going to do 80% of your damage, or maybe 90% of the damage, because it's high health, low damage. The opponents there have insane health pools, and you just end up putting on an autoplay pretty much. It takes weeks to finish it. You'll see. You're going to have fun.
I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, that's kind of like the drawback for some of these, like Phoenix, Ultron, and Black Bolt. I mean, unless you're wailing out, you're not going to get them till late game. That's one of the big problems with them. So, I mean, in terms of farming order, Star-Lord, Invisible Woman / Shuri, and then I've got Nick Fury, which I kind of use to unlock Iron Man, then Magneto, and then after that, it gets kind of murky because
well, and the idea is you're at level 69, right? You're going to 70, which at 70 is when you can do 13 and you can go into Dark Dimension 2. I mean, you want to be as close to, when you hit level 70, almost ready to go in and get Ultron.
Yeah.
So if you got to count him in there somewhere too. But yeah, Phoenix you're gonna get when you get her. Black Bolt, Whale if you got it. You know what I mean? And then Ebony Maw is a function of Black Bolt. Too. Yeah. So you need Black Bolt to get Ebony Maw. So.
Well, I think that kind of wraps it up for this video. Mobile, do you have anything to tell the gentle McMinions out there?
McMinions?
McMinions.
Well harder, you peasants. I don't know. I don't know. That's the message, right? See, that's the Foxneck spokesperson's message. Well harder, you peasants.
Yeah.
I don't know. There you go.
All right, so where can people find you if they want to go check out your content?
I've been, it's kind of confusing because I've got, a lot of people know me from Galaxy of Heroes as Mobilegamer. For Marvel Strike Force, YouTube channel name is OhEmGee, but I'm also streaming on Twitch every day about server reset time. So when the new packs come out, when you can do your Alliance donation is the server reset time, which is 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm usually there doing offer review and all kinds of silliness on Twitch under Mobilegamer name.
Yep. All right, well, that's going to be it for us, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And as always, guys, I will see you all next time.